Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for visiting the YouTube channel for bestbiblecommentaries.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Romans volume in the New International Greek Testament Commentary series by Richard Longnecker. Before I do that, I have something else I'm really excited about to share with you, and that's that I'm doing my first ever giveaway. It's always been a part of my plan since I launched my channel to give away commentaries and study Bibles and biblical studies resources to my viewers. And I hope over time to give away dozens, if not hundreds of books, just because I think it's fun and it's a great way to promote studying Scripture, which is just a passion of mine. So the first commentary that I'm going to be giving away is the Daniel volume in the NIV Application Commentary series. It's one of the most well-reviewed Daniel commentaries. This book would be great for pastors, but also just anybody who enjoys studying Scripture and wants to read more and learn more about the book of Daniel. So how do you win this commentary? First of all, there is absolutely no charge to enter. It doesn't cost a thing. All you do is click the like button on this particular video and then leave a comment down below. And your comment could just be, I would like to win the Daniel volume, or whatever you would like to say about this particular video. So I will look for people who did both of those things and then pick a random winner. And I'm really excited about it. And I hope as my channel continues to grow that I can give away more and more products. So I'm at the point now where the channel is kind of sustaining itself a little bit. And so I just want to use that to give away a bunch of books. So that excites me. Giving away books excites me. So feel free to enter. And I should say, too, that will last a week. So a week after this video posts is when I'll pick the winner. And so if you're watching this video after that fact, the contest is over. Okay. I am reviewing this Romans volume in the NIGTC series because a viewer asked me to. So if you're new to my channel, I do my best when I get recommendations to put that in my queue, put the recommendation in my queue of videos that I'm doing, and if I'm able to, I will oblige. I'm not always able to, but I try to when I can. So this particular volume was published in 2016. It is 1,140 pages in length. The NIGTC series has several well-reviewed volumes in it. This is one of them. This is a commentary on the Greek text. This series is conventionally described as a technical series, but there are a number of reviewers who think that this particular volume isn't as technical in nature as other volumes, and so there's less grammatical analysis in it, and I'll say more about that in a minute. And for some of you who are looking for a technical commentary, that might be bad news, but some of you who are looking more for a mid-level commentary on Romans, that might be good news for you. So I'll say more about that in just a moment. Richard Longnecker taught for a long time at Wycliffe College, which I think is in Toronto, if I remember correctly. It has an Anglican tradition. And then he also taught at McMaster Divinity College, which is historically Baptist. I would describe Longnecker as broadly evangelical. It's almost best to take him position by position. For instance, he defends the traditional view of Paul, and he has written extensively, actually, in opposition to the new perspective on Paul, and he argues against the new perspective on Paul in this volume. So a couple of other commentaries that he's written that you might be familiar with. He wrote the Acts volume in the Expositor's Bible Commentary series. And he wrote the Galatians volume in the Word Biblical Commentary series. And both of those volumes are very well reviewed. All right, and so now let's get into academic reviews. If you're new to my channel, I like to share academic reviews because I think they're the most interesting and the most helpful. The first one comes from the Southern Baptist Journal of Theology. The reviewer says, Longnecker has brought a lifetime of research to bear on this commentary, and his contribution is certainly appreciated. Those who read this work will find their understanding of Romans enriched. The reviewer likes the Excursuses. There are, I think, like a dozen Excursus in this volume. An Excursus is like like an article or an essay within the commentary. That's usually, in commentaries, they're usually topical in nature. So here is an example of one. This is an excursus on the term for remnant in the Old Testament scriptures. So this comes from Romans chapter 9, where Paul discusses a remnant. So here's an additional essay on the term remnant in the Old Testament. So there's maybe a dozen of those. It's hard to say that word in the plural. Excursuses. There's another subsection that's found in each section in this commentary. So there is more of this particular feature than the excursuses. And this is called biblical theology. And the reviewer liked those essays, and the reviewers also liked this section on biblical theology, which is not found in every NIGTC commentary. This is something that Longnecker did because he thought it would be helpful to synthesize the theology and doctrine found in each particular passage that he is commenting on. So there's also the contextualization for today in each section. This particular reviewer didn't note this section. I wouldn't go so far as to say this is a quote-unquote application section, because there's not that much reflection on how to apply the text to life today, but a reader could probably get started with application by reading these different sections. All right, let's go on to the next review now from Bibliotheca Sacra, which is the journal from Dallas Theological Seminary. The reviewer says that the commentary will take its place among the most consulted Romans commentaries available in English. It is easy to find Longnecker's reasoning and conclusions on specific exegetical questions. Overall, this is a solid, user-friendly commentary for those who can work with the Greek text. Now, one thing I'll note about that is usually not the kind of description you will find for a technical commentary, which fits with some of the other reviewers who say, this volume, it's in a series that's usually described as technical, but this is a little bit less than technical. It may be, for some readers, more on the mid-level part of the spectrum. It's user-friendly. Longnecker writes in a way that is easy to understand, and quite frankly, for those who aren't familiar with technical commentaries, those just usually aren't descriptions that you see with regard to technical commentaries. The reviewer in Bibliotheca Sacra, the minor quibble that he had, he said ideally he would want more grammatical analysis and detail, as well as more detail on historical and cultural context. So that particular reviewer, he was saying that in this particular series, he actually expected more grammatical analysis of the Greek, and he didn't get it. So people who have volumes in this series that are now coming to the Romans volume and expecting the same depth of grammatical analysis might be a little bit disappointed. Disappointed might be too strong of a word, but it's not quite the same level of technicality as other volumes in the series. The third review I'd like to share with you is from the Southwestern Baptist Theological Journal. Quote, Longnecker's commentary on Romans is a book that every student of Romans must read. Readers will definitely benefit from Longnecker's encyclopedic knowledge of the exegetical and theological history of Romans. One may not agree with him in some exegetical and theological conclusions that he suggests, but one could appreciate his efforts to be fair in evaluating different views and to make the Christian gospel contextualized for its audience today. So one of the things that reviewers loved about this volume that several of them commented on is when Longnecker approaches a certain passage in Romans, he'll often start in his introduction by saying, historically, here are the interpretive issues that have been debated. And then he'll say, here are the textual questions, or here are the questions that textual critics ask about this passage, or discuss when talking about this passage. So he kind of gives you these different perspectives at the start of each section, and then as he makes comment on the passage, he'll share his own views on those ideas. So reviewers loved that he kind of laid out what the history is of each passage. They found that very helpful. The fourth review comes from Westminster Theological Seminary Journal. The reviewer says, it seems to this reviewer that Longnecker tended towards the less technical end of the spectrum for this NIGTC series. Some may complain that for a Greek Testament commentary, the amount of printed interaction with the Greek text is perhaps less than might have been expected. Continuing, despite this quibble, Longnecker's Romans is without question a masterful contribution to Pauline studies. His grasp of the subject matter and various interpretive options is deep. In addition to being commentary upon the Greek text itself, Romans can also function as a history of exegetical problems in the investigation and interpretation of Paul's longest and most intricate work. From now on, anyone studying the Greek text of Romans will want to do so with this commentary close by. I will put a link to this commentary on Amazon down below if you would like to use that. And don't forget, if you would like to enter the contest for a free giveaway of the Daniel volume in the NIVAC series, click the like button, leave a comment, and maybe you will be the one that I will be mailing this to next week. Thank you for visiting the YouTube channel for Best Bible Commentaries, and thank you for watching.